Hello, learning coaches. This video will help you find out how to check how your high school student is doing, and really 6 through 12 will work the same way. So the first place that you want to go is you want to click on My Students, and then you also want to change to your high school student. Okay, so this is your high school students, My Students area. You can see their schedule, where you can tell which upcoming assignments they have. I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint since this is the end of semester 1. Not a lot of assignments are happening right now since we're mid-finals week. But this is how it would typically look. You would see your lessons and when they are due. You can see if your student started a lesson because it will have like a half green circle. You can see if it's overdue because it will be flagged as red. And then you can see if your student has finished them. You can also see your students' upcoming class connects. And you can advance different days and go to a week view. You can also see your students' overdue assignments by clicking on overdue. This is a good indicator on if your students kind of caught up with where they need to be, but it's not the only indicator. I would definitely also check their courses to check their grade book. Most of the assignments show up on the overdue, but sometimes they're just weird and they don't. So this is a good check, but not the only place to check. So to check their grades, I would recommend actually going into their courses, and to do that, you just click on courses. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about this tab right now before we move on to getting into the course. So this tab, you can see that you have your students' courses. Then you can see their grade in the course, their progress, number of overdue assignments, and then their primary teacher's name. If you click on any name highlighted in blue here, you'll be able to see the teacher's phone number and reach out to them and contact them. Okay, if you click on grades, let's see if I can get that to open in a new tab. You can see that it's icky and yucky, and you kind of expand it to see each grade item, and it's just really kind of hard to navigate. So again, I wouldn't recommend clicking on grades from this area. To check your student's grade, I would recommend clicking on the actual classroom. We'll give you a warning saying that you're attempting to access it as a student. Gives you a scary thing, lots of parents back out, but this is what you want to do. You want to go in here, and if you click on yes, you are viewing as the student, so don't complete any work. Any quiz you take will be kind of stamped as the students, so don't do it. You can see your overall student's homepage from here. You can see their grade, their overdue assignments, feedback. You can also switch to a new course by clicking the 9 squares, making a square, and just toggle between your courses here. So to check your students' grades, you just click on grades. And it's a much better view. If a student is missing something, which the student is not, it will show as 0. Let me bring up the PowerPoint snapshot that I have, just so that you can see what that looks like as well. Okay, here we go. If they have a 0, you'll be able to see the 0, and sometimes there's comments as well. If there's a 0, that means your student is missing it, or that they scored poorly and they need to do a correction or somehow raise that grade. So from the gradebook, again, you can see comments and what the grade is. If something is missing, there is a 0. So even if it's not on the overdue assignment, always check for 0s. I would recommend doing this more frequently with new students. And then once your student kind of gets the hang of stuff, I would recommend doing this at least every week. I would recommend at the end of the week. At WIVA, we consider a week's worth of work late after a week. So Monday through Friday's work is considered late Sunday at 9:30 p.m. We do have a late policy on teacher-graded assignments, and we go over those in the student videos, but anything that they write on is basically a teacher-graded assignment instead of like multiple choice. So if let's say your student scored poorly, you can check the content area. Let's go to a different course besides personal fitness. Okay, here we go. So this teacher allows quiz corrections, and she provides the link for the students on how to complete those. So always check the content and then the course materials area to see what your teacher's policy is. Okay, so if you click on content, this is how you can access your students' content if you want to, if they're not understanding something and you want to help. So if they have completed something, you'll see that there's a check mark beside it. So like, let's look at this one. You can see that they completed this whole lesson because there's a check mark. If you click on this one, it has 2 segments left. So you can see that this student, at least it wasn't flagged as taking the quiz in this segment. And so they need to complete that in order to get the check mark to clear. Okay, so again, I would check this information at least once a week at the end of the week to kind of check your student out. For new students, I would recommend checking it a little bit more frequently to give them all the support that they need. But you can always reach out to your teachers, again, finding their phone numbers right here from the Learning Coach homepage. You can click on courses and then click on the teacher's name, and it will bring up their phone number. So if you have any questions, reach out to the teachers for help. Or if your student is starting to fall behind and they don't understand math, reach out to the math teacher to see if you can schedule a one-on-one. Okay, well, sorry for the extra long video this time. We just had a lot of stuff to cover with checking students' work. Okay, well, let me know if you have any questions too. Bye.